Welcome to the FX Options Weekly Outlook, a weekly podcast series hosted by Jason Ayres, a top instructor, trader, and founder of OptionSource.net. Join Jason as he discusses the latest trends in the Forex market with a look ahead on the US dollar versus the major currencies using the most commonly used technical indicators.
Well, hi there, and welcome to the ISC FX Options Weekly Outlook for February 15th, 2010. As always, this is Jason Ayres of OptionSource.net. Let's take a quick look at a weekly chart of the US dollar index. This is a great way to gain perspective as to how the US dollar has been trading against a basket of currencies. While in the bigger picture, the 78 focal zone remains a key support on the downside, and as long as the US dollar index remains in the bigger picture above this, we suspect a continuation to the upside. At this stage, there is some consolidation taking place within our 79 to 82 box, and there is the distinct possibility that the US dollar index may extend its rally up to test the upper range into that 82 level. A quick look at our daily snapshot reflects some of the key near-term support and resistance levels that we've been keeping an eye on. The 79.5 focal zone remains an important near-term support. We can see some consolidation between the 79.5 and 80.5 range taking place presently. A break beyond 80.5 could conceivably push towards a test of the upper range of this focal zone, tapping into that 82 level. Let's take a look at the CDD, the US versus the Canadian dollar. Well, as you can see here, the US dollar lost some ground against the Canadian dollar last week as the pair value slipped below our 105.5 to 106 focal zone that was acting as a key support. Now, at this stage, with the pair value trading below this range, we are open to the possibility of a test down into this 104, 104.5 support level. Any consolidation within this range and a break back above 106 is likely to retest our 107, 108 focal zone. We still believe that until the pair value breaks 108, that it is destined to consolidate within this range for some time. Next up, the YUK, the US versus the Japanese yen. Well, the pair value tapped into the upper range of our 88, 88.5 support level before bouncing up to retest the lower range of our 90, 91 focal zone. At this point, the path of least resistance continues to be the downside. As we can see here, Friday's trading action saw the pair value reject and close on the lows, suggesting that we are likely to see a retest down into that 88, 88.5 zone once again. A break below that is likely to slip as deep as 85.5 to 86. Let's take a look at the US dollar versus the euro as seen here in the ISC FX options pair value EUI. Well, the pair value consolidated last week, trading Friday as high as just shy of 74 before rejecting and closing on the lows of the day. At this point, we may see a little bit of a retracement as deep as 71, 72, which represents a near-term support level. If we do happen to see a push higher, we are likely to see some continued resistance in the upper range of our 74, 75 box. Well, let's take a look at the BPX, the US versus the British pound, and the US dollar has rallied considerably over the last couple of weeks against the pound. We can see here now that the pair value is consolidating, has spent the previous week consolidating within a fairly tight range, almost forming what's known as a sideways triangle, denoting some indecision. Now, we have a key support down at the 63, 63.5 focal zone, and we would suspect that any sell-off is likely going to move back down into this range, and if that sell-off is contained at this level here, then that does lend further credibility to a continuation to the upside. The other scenario is that we get a break to the upside out of the sideways triangle, which would have us targeting the 65, 65.5 focal zone. Let's take a look at the US versus the Australian dollar as seen here in the ISC FX options pair value AUX. Well, the pair actually retraced back to test support at the 111.5, 112 focal zone, which is a measured retracement zone that we've had on the radar. Now, last week the pair value bounced here and retested resistance up at the 113, 114 range, and any consolidation within this range and close above 114 lends further credibility to a continuation into this 116, 117 focal zone as a test of resistance. As for any bigger picture move to the upside, we would want to see a definitive break above 117 to support that continuation. Let's take a quick look at our key points. First of all, the US dollar index is showing some hesitation within the 80-81 focal zone. Support continues to hold at 80. One more thrust higher is likely to test 82. The CDD retraced back to 105. We may see the pair slip to 104, 104 and a half. This range represents a measured retracement. Once again, until we see a break above 108, we have to expect the pair value to continue its consolidation. The YUK bounced to test the lower range of our 90-91 focal zone, with the pair value closing off of the highs last Friday. The path of least resistance continues to appear to the downside. The EUI continued its push towards 74 before closing on the lows last Friday. We are open to a deeper retracement. However, the US dollar continues to hold its ground, lending credibility to another thrust higher to test the upper range of our 74-75 blocks. The BPX is showing some signs of indecision after a two-week rally. The 73, 73 and a half focal zone remains a strong support. A break higher will have us targeting 65, 65 and a half. The AUX slipped lower last week, testing a measured retracement zone. A positive close in our 113, 114 zone will open the window for a follow-through to test resistance at 116, 117. And this has been your ISE FX Options Weekly Outlook for February 15th, 2010. As always, this is Jason Ayres of OptionsSource.net. Thanks for joining me here this week. We'll see you here next week.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For trading ideas, exchange rates, webinars, news, and commentary, visit www.fxoptions.com. Become an OptionSource.net member. Visit www.optionsource.net. ISE FX options can be easily traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in U.S. dollars and have a European-style exercise.